Hey y'all, welcome. Good evening. Welcome to the first Tea Tuesday. And I just want to give you all a moment to come in. But starting today, every Tuesday, I'm going to come on and I'm going to give you advice and spill the tea, so to say. This is play on words on the gluten-free and dairy-free lifestyle advice, tips, anything like that. Hey, Daphne, thanks for joining in. And thank y'all for joining in. So every Tuesday I'll come on and give advice about it. So if y'all have a certain topic that y'all want me to cover, you can definitely send me a message or an email at emerald@southernbellremix.com, and I will cover your topic, your question in one day. And also I'll open it up to you all. If you have a gluten-free or dairy-free product that you want more people to know about, and you want me to use my Tea Tuesday as an opportunity to spill the tea about your great product, reach out to me and let me know too, so maybe we can work something out. So today I'm drinking my pregnancy tea that I got from my midwife. So we're going to sip some tea and get to talk about ways to avoid cross-contamination. So my name is Emerald Thomas. I am the creator of Southern Belle Remix, which is a lifestyle, gluten and dairy free lifestyle blog. So as you know, I talk about anything related to my lifestyle. And then sometimes I'll talk about health and fitness. Some days I'll talk about my pregnancy. So, and like lately you've been seeing me talk about my pregnancy cravings and the things that I've been eating, and making some recipes and things gluten-free that aren't traditionally gluten-free. So I do thank y'all for joining. And please share this. Even if you're watching the replay, I thank you for joining. You can share this with your friends. Share this with your followers. Invite people to join in. Hey, Catherine, thanks for joining. So I'm going to get started with, first I want to say happy birthday to my daddy again. So y'all want to give him a birthday shout out. And I'm going to start off with some tips. So like I said, when someone you may not be gluten-free, you may not be dairy-free, you may have some other food intolerance, allergen, or you may have a loved one that have a restricted diet or allergies. So you may have a guest coming to your event or your family member coming over, and you may not know what to do to help them have a comfortable stay at your home or comfortable visit. So I'm going to give you some tips so you can keep in mind. And also, like, if you're not familiar with some things, if you come across someone, you won't feel like you don't know anything about it. So the first step I have to avoid cross-contamination is to use separate utensils when you're using, like, making things like for gluten-free foods and gluten foods. So for example, some people, when you make a sandwich, they're gluten-free bread, and of course there's non-gluten-free bread. So let's say, for instance, you have in your home, you have some, like, you may be gluten-free, or one or two people may be gluten-free and then someone else may not be. So they have their regular bread in the house with yours. And so you may want to make a sandwich, and then you just have to, I say, use separate utensils, and don't like double dip, like spread some mayonnaise or something on your bread and then put it back in there, because you don't want any of the crumbs to get in the container and contaminate the food. And also, if you can, use squirt bottles. I know I don't use traditional mayo. I use like a vegan mayo. So if you may have something just for you or the person, and then you can have something separate for everyone else. You can label it, so if you have a house guest and they won't mess things up. But definitely the easiest thing to do, like especially with jelly and peanut butter and stuff, is just to take it and use a different utensil each time you swipe, so you don't get any crumbs or anything on it. Another tip is to use a separate toaster for like gluten-free toast. You can get an inexpensive one, or whatever the case may be, put a label on it, say gluten-free on it, or whoever's name on it. And so that way you can avoid the crumbs from the gluten bread and the crumbs from the gluten-free bread, getting mixed up and causing issues for people. Because everybody has different sensitivities. And I know some people, they get very, very sick if even a crumb is on their food of gluten. So just to be careful and be safe, you can avoid that. And y'all can ask questions too as we go along, so don't feel like you just have to watch me talk the whole time. Another thing too, the next step I would give, if you're cooking gluten-free and non-gluten-free foods, and I'll give an example. Cook the gluten-free food or the dairy-free food or the vegan food or whatever the case may be, peanut-free first. So like my husband, he likes making breakfast. So usually if it's just us, he'll make us all gluten-free breakfast. But if we having a family event, our parents are over, cousins and everybody's over staying all night, and he makes breakfast, he'll make mine first and put it on a separate plate and separate it, and then he'll make everyone else's, so that way mine won't get contaminated. And he'll tell people, like, I put Emmy's stuff on a separate plate, on this color plate, y'all's on this thing, so people will know what not to touch, and don't eat all my food, so I won't have nothing left not to eat. So those are some different tips that there's some different things he does. Another example, if you're making dinner, and say for instance, people say, I hate that, I don't want to eat gluten-free stuff, and so for instance, you want to just be a nice party host, so you want to avoid contaminating your guests that may have allergens. So you cook your dish, you can keep the dish separate. I always say cook it first, or just keep it separate. Clean off everything good. Like if you're using griddles, make sure you clean off anything good so you don't have any residue of what's gluten stuff. Majority of the meals in our home are gluten free because we're just cooking one big meal. But there are occasions when other people come over and it's just too expensive or too tedious to try to cook the whole world a gluten free meal, because some people just don't want to eat gluten free. So we do usually cook or separate the gluten free stuff from the gluten stuff. And I'll give some more bonus tips. Let's see. Oh yeah, when you're going to restaurants, and say for instance, we can't just sit at home and hide ourselves out from, you have allergens or anything. So I haven't even sipped my tea yet, huh? Let's taste it. So you may find yourself in a position where you have to go out to eat for a birthday party, anniversary, you want to do something different. Now, most restaurants have a gluten-free menu. And then like me, I have gluten and dairy-free. So I'm like, hey, I'm gluten-free and dairy-free. What can I eat? And I usually go back and ask the chef, and they're very kind. Now, there have been some times when someone tells me, hey, I'm having a party, I'm going to this restaurant, and I call ahead to say, I look online, don't see a gluten-free menu. Call ahead and say, do you all have a gluten-free menu, or can you accommodate me? There have been some times where they were like, no, like they're pretty rude or offended for me even asking, which is weird because they should want my money. But, there are some times where some people don't know what I'm talking about, or they just seem confused. So you have to go if you feel comfortable with it. I've been to some restaurants where, and I say, hey, do you have a gluten-free menu?
Hi.
Look, there he goes. Hi. Okay, that's nasty. So there are some times I ask people when I go out, like, hey, do you have a gluten-free menu? And I'm like, what? What's gluten? Why are you at this restaurant if you want gluten-free? But sometimes that's where the group is going, so I can't I don't want to stay at home. So, sometimes they just really don't know what I'm talking about, and it makes me uncomfortable eating there. Okay, well, you can log back in to watch the rest of it later. But thank you for joining. So, I really don't know what they know about it. So sometimes I don't feel comfortable, and I'll just either eat a plain salad and make my own dressing, or ask them, can they just make me something plain with just salt and pepper, like grill something, or get a baked potato, because you just don't know what you don't want them to accidentally gluten you. Because of course, for some of us, it affects us for some days, and for some people, they end up in the hospital. Hey, Daddy, thanks for joining. So that's my tips for avoiding cross contamination. So if you have any other questions, even when this video is no longer live, sorry, I got a phone call. I don't know why they called right in the middle of my videos, but if you have any questions, or if you have anything that you want to be concerned about, or about gluten-free, even if you're not gluten-free, but you may want to get started, or you have a friend, a family member you have an event, you want to make sure that you are well versed on any kind of allergen, like just things you can avoid, you can definitely contact me. But I'll just recap the tips right quick before I log off. So you want to use separate utensils to make sure you don't get any crumbs and stuff everywhere. You can use a different toaster to help with the crumbs issue with the bread. And of course, when you're cooking at home, try to cook the allergen. Hey, Adrian, cook with the allergen friendly food first. and then cook the regular foods for everyone else. And then clean it off really well so you make sure that there's no residue left over for future uses. And when you go to restaurants, always ask. It's best to try to plan ahead, look online. I'm thankful we live in a time where you can
That's invisible.
Okay, he's invisible.
That's invisible.
Okay. So it's best to look online ahead of time and try to find recipes, call the restaurant ahead of time. Of course, over time, you'll know your favorite places to go, or you'll know where it was safe. But sometimes someone might invite you to a birthday party that you may not be familiar with that place. So you have to do some, or, a baby shower or anything. And it's best to kind of let people know ahead of time, like, hey, I have these food issues. I have this allergen. I have, sensitivities to certain things. I get sick when I eat things. And most people, they have a good heart. They'll care. And try to accommodate you the best they can. So definitely try to research, look things up, call ahead. Most of the time there's something they can do even if your food is pretty bland. But if there isn't, if you don't feel comfortable, don't eat it, because it is your body and your health. And you don't want to risk going to the hospital or being sick. Like me, I used to get sick for a few days or break out or have my tongue swelling up when I eat dairy. So I try not to take that risk, especially because I have a child to take care of and I have a baby in me now, so I don't have time to be sick. But those are the tips I've given out to help avoid the cross-contamination. If y'all have any questions, like I said, feel free to reach out. Again, my name is Emerald Thomas, Southern Belle Remix. I am going to work on some more things for you all. So if you have another topic that you want to see and hear about sooner than later, a question, if you want me to cook something and show you how to make something gluten-free that's typically not, don't hesitate to ask me that too, because I can definitely make tea Tuesdays about giving you the tea on something gluten and dairy-free. So that. And also, let me see. I don't think we have anything else going on for right now. Any announcements, but Trent will be back later with his push-up challenge for the heart health and the stroke. So he will be on explaining that later. So you'll see him back live tonight, and then you'll see me on again for sure next Tuesday. And of course, you'll hear about my yummy cookies. So I do want to invite you, if you're local in the Beaumont, Houston area, preferably, if you want to try some samples of my gluten and dairy-free cookies that I'm starting to make and pull out, you want to be a part of that team of taste testers, let me know ASAP, because soon I will shut it down and have to, get everything out. I do ask that you do a survey to tell me what you think as in exchange. But that's why I'm offering it to you all. This is probably my last call for that, because next month is the month that I'm going to be setting up shop and selling everything. And if you have any favorite cookies, I know a lot of you gave me a list of your favorites, and a lot of those can be made gluten and dairy free. And then I know if you want something else that's like probably nobody mentioned before, you can still send that suggestion to me, because I had no idea so many people liked oatmeal cookies and oatmeal raisin cookies and all that stuff. Hey, Brandy, thank you for joining. So you're welcome to be a taste tester for my gluten and dairy free cookies. I will do macaroons soon too. So I'm looking forward to that. And tea cakes, gluten and dairy free tea cakes. That's something that I haven't had in a while because of being gluten-free, so I'm happy to have that in my life again. So like I said, y'all have any suggestions, if anything you want me to make and sell to you, and make your life easier, because you want that homemade taste but you don't have time, you don't want to go to the store and buy it, I'm definitely understand how you feel with that, because I like the homemade taste instead of buying store-bought stuff. So and you don't have to, and if you have like an egg thing, like if some people don't like eggs or can't tolerate eggs, I can definitely make some egg free. I have before, and of course vegan and all that stuff. So we're good with that. Just tell me what your preferences are, and I can do that for you. And that's really it. So again, join me again next week and join me, sip some tea. we talk and get some tips and advice, and or even cook on every Tea Tuesday, and that's it. So I'll let y'all go. And again, you can reach me at southernbelleremix.com. And of course, you're welcome to like my page. And you can also email me at emerald@southernbelleremix.com. All right, see you soon. Bye, y'all.